Hi, my name is Alec Herring, and I want to say something that's going to be incredibly controversial to a lot of people, but I don't think it has to be. And what I'm going to say is, I cured my Crohn's. Now, if we look at the trusty Webster's Dictionary, at the definition of cure, it says a healing or being healed, a thing that makes one well. And I almost died from Crohn's disease back in 98, 99, 97, back there. I was really sick, really deathly ill, and was told by some medical people that there was nothing I could do. I just needed to take pharmaceutical drugs and just hope for the best. Food had nothing to do with it. Really no help whatsoever. And I heard from other people, a guy who was not an MD, but more of a nutritional healer, that Crohn's often has a lot to do with diet. Over the course of a few years, I changed my diet. I went on ultimately a grain-free diet. I started out just not eating wheat and got better, but that wasn't enough. And even a gluten-free diet wasn't enough for me. But a totally grain-free diet and really cutting way down on any kind of refined sugars or sugars in general also was important to me. So if it sounds familiar, it's kind of like a specific carbohydrate diet, although that's not exactly the diet that I follow. It's more simple perhaps than that. But I cured myself. I never am sick anymore. The only times I have had any symptoms at all since the late 90s or early 2000s, so we're talking about 10 plus years here, has been when I've eaten something by accident that did have wheat in it, which happens occasionally. You go to a restaurant, you order something, you're not careful enough, I get something. So I am never sick. I at one point was down to 108 pounds and really deathly ill. Now I'm 135 pounds, healthy as can be, I'm never sick, and I don't think this should be controversial at all. I just think this is something that is great news to be able to provide hope for people. And I'm not saying that everybody can do what I did and they're going to have exactly the same results that I'm going to have. What I'm saying is that there's hope. And for whatever reason, there seems to be a contingent of people, many of them are Crohn's people who suffer. Maybe they have to suffer, maybe they want to suffer, I really don't know. Physicians and drug companies who have a vested interest in people being on their drugs. Those people seem to want to spread the message that there is no hope for people with Crohn's or colitis. And the best you can do is just suffer along, be hooked on their pharmaceuticals, and keep your fingers crossed. Well, frankly, I think that's a bunch of BS, because I'm a living example of someone who doesn't live that way and was deathly ill from Crohn's. So if I can do it, and if you search around on the internet, you'll find other people with blogs and other people here on YouTube with videos talking about how they have healed from Crohn's as well. So there's hope, and if there was hope for me and for other people, there can be hope for you. Don't listen to the people who want you to lose hope and become dependent on them and whatever it is that they're peddling, their support groups or their pharmaceutical drugs or whatever it is, whatever their vested interest in keeping others hopeless doesn't have to be the way that you live your life. Now I'm going to leave comments open on this video. Often I edit them out because probably 95% of the people who write to me from all over the world are really positive and thankful, and they ask me for advice and I give it the best I can. I tell people what I do and what's worked for me. But there's always a few people who, for whatever reason, they're angry that I would say that I cured myself of Crohn's. They're just furious with me that maybe it's that I'm better and have gotten better and feel better, and they want to say that I'm not cured, that something is amiss or whatever. Hey, if that's the way they want to live, that's fine. Normally I edit those comments out, but I'm going to leave them here just so you can see that the vested interests out there of people who want others to be hopeless. I think it's kind of weird, but you can see, I'm going to leave this totally unedited so you can make up your own minds who you want to follow. Do you want to follow people who have hope for being better, for never suffering again from Crohn's and colitis? Or do you want to follow the crowd led by the drug companies and some physicians and some sufferers of these diseases who want you to be hopeless? You'll decide for yourself. But I wish you the best. Alec Herring signing out.